Hello guys, it's Monday and it is 1:49 and I'm doing a walk for the first time in a couple days. I was gonna wait, I was gonna wait until Tuesday, but I have a lot of stuff I want to chat about, and I also want to do some exercise. So, what I want to test is to see if the knee, back of the knee, thigh thing, if it gets better or worse with, reasonable exercise. Because the couple days that I just didn't really do any exercise, it just kind of felt like it got worse a little bit. So I'm wondering if I just need to get blood flow and I just need to kind of walk it out. So we'll see. Also, the camera lens might be, because it's very sunny out, I might need to darken it. I don't know yet. It looks fine, I think, right now, but we'll see. If it gets egregious, I'll change it. So, okay. Also, I'm starting on my right side because I've realized I've been overusing my left hand for holding the camera. So I want to make sure to more evenly distribute the camera being held. So, yeah. Anyway, so I think the main thing I want to talk about today is this kind of got brought up recently in a few videos, and I thought back to some previous videos, and they kind of were hinting at this, and I didn't really catch on at the time, but now all the dots are connecting. So, oversharing is something that I definitely think I've struggled with. What I mean by oversharing, it's not the stuff I'm saying in the videos or whatever, although maybe someone might think of it as oversharing. That's fine. But there's this idea that you can overshare by well, okay, before I talk about oversharing in general, how am I oversharing? Because I think that matters a lot in this context. So, first things first, oversharing for me, I guess it comes in the form of over-explaining. And you guys have seen this, where I will try to explain my thought process and then explain why I'm talking about my thought process. And, it can get to a point where I'm kind of just word salading a bunch of stuff that realistically I shouldn't even be doing. Man, it's like really quiet and warm here today. It's kind of creepy. Where are the birds? Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on that, because there should be birds. Maybe it's because it's so hot out? I don't know. It's only 80. So we'll have to see. Like, I hear occasional stuff, but it is weird how silent it is here. Okay, so getting back to it, I think the struggle that I've kind of gone through with the over-explaining is kind of a built-in mechanism to protect myself. And I'm aware of that, which is why I've been working on getting better at that. But I never really thought about that as being a part of the greater whole, which is over explanation turning into oversharing in general, where I feel like I need to be sharing my thoughts and opinions. That's fine. But as soon as I start getting into the territory of feeling like I have to justify every thought, every decision, and kind of working through the neurological patterns and explaining them and explaining the background of everything, you know, for you guys, I think sometimes that can be helpful. Because I'm explicitly trying to teach using myself as a medium, but that teaching can inevitably kind of wind me up into a scenario where I'm not getting to the point and I'm oversharing. And although I think the journey, every piece of the journey is important, I think some of this minutia I don't necessarily need to go through. Man, it is really, feels hot, way hotter. Oh, also, the birds are back. Hi. So, yeah, there was definitely something wrong with that first stretch of forest. But yeah, so why am I bringing this up now? What's the big deal? Well, I was rethinking the interactions I had with my roommate's friend who came over, and I kind of just went through the whole life story thing while we were eating. And, you know, I don't know this person. I don't know what he wants to know about. I feel like in the moment it was fine. But also, I definitely overshared. And, you know, you can look back. You can look back and see that I I was actually like, I took it differently. I was like, oh, you know, he mentioned how he's like, oh man, I got to learn your whole life story and everything. And that the interaction was different. And I took it as totally solely a like positive thing. And, you know, I think it's fine to take it that way. But also, I should keep in mind that I was oversharing. And so I think oversharing for me, it's hard to know what not to share because I want to be open. I want to be honest with people. And so I was thinking like, well, how do I know when I'm oversharing? And I look at what other people that I view to have higher spiritual and emotional intelligence, how do they interact with people? And time and time again, something I see is this idea of kind of staying silent until people ask questions or until there's some sort of prompt. How's it going?
How you doing?
Pretty good. It's a good day for a walk.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of see this time and time again of this idea that it's not that they're not willing to share, it's that they don't unpromptedly share. And I think that's a distinction there, where going up to people, you know, maybe they're new friends or people you've met on the street or whatever it is. Getting to know the person, interacting with them, that's one thing. And if they ask questions, you can mention stuff. And you don't have to, like, you're not trying to hide or be deceitful. But at the same time, you don't have to go through your whole life story as a preface before you even really start interacting with them. And I think because there's almost, in the past for sure, and I think it's less so now, but I've definitely struggled with wanting people to understand me. And so I front load information. I front load, you know, who I am, what I'm doing. And when I do that, inevitably, there's kind of what that signals to people is that you don't have boundaries when it comes to information you have on yourself and just how you exist. And when you don't have boundaries, people tend to shy away from dealing with those types of people, not because there's anything wrong with them per se, but more because if they don't have boundaries, how do you know that they're going to kind of listen to your boundaries when you have them? Because if they don't treat themselves with the level of boundary respect, then that shows a lot about the person. And for me, I know that I respect other people's boundaries. But people don't know that. So, obviously, as they interact with me more and they get the chance to see me, they'll say, oh, like, I can see that he does in fact respect my boundaries. But, there's also another kind of sense of like, this person's still growing because they haven't asserted their own boundaries. And so if you're looking, and to be fair, there's nothing wrong with continuing to grow, because I think we're always growing. We're always growing. We're always working on ourselves. We're never going to be the final product. That just doesn't exist. But establishing some boundaries of what you should and shouldn't kind of bring up. And those boundaries can look however you want them to look, but you just need to have some boundaries. And so this is where oversharing can be a big deal. Now, on top of oversharing for the boundary stuff, there's another thing that also kind of signals, and it kind of signals that what's the best way to explain this? The not having boundaries with yourself and not having an oversharing. It's like I totally lost. I had a really good sub point on this, and I just totally lost it. I'm trying to bring it back. By the way, it is a beautiful day. Clouds are basically non-existent. I mean, it's kind of weird. As I've been walking more, my leg hasn't really bothered me as much. It's like it gets warmed up and then it's fine. So I think that's kind of the answer. Now, I will say, sitting for a long period of time seems to do the opposite. So, gotta keep that in mind. Man, I'm really trying to drag this thought back. Well, I think you signaling with boundaries that you're at a level where you can interface with people with respect on both sides showcases your maturity and growth. And I think that's really the point, is... Okay, come on, buddy. This fly really is just following me. Okay. So, if nothing else, defining my boundaries on kind of what I say to people I've just met. And see, okay, the thing is, it's not actually about the words that you say. And I think that's where I stumble a little bit. If I was to tell someone how much I weigh, unprompted, dude, fuck off. Literally, it's just circling me. It's crazy. Anyway. So if I assert my stance of, hey, I weigh this, to someone who has never met me, never interacted with me, and they're like, okay, like, why are you telling me this? That right there is oversharing. However, in a different context, we were talking to a friend, I'm talking to you guys because part of the whole thing is like weight loss and, you know, my struggle with that. And so those are contexts that matter when it comes to what you should and shouldn't share. And I say should, but really it's what are you comfortable sharing at what point throughout your interaction with the person. And so there's that component. But the second component is, what are people comfortable being shared? And kind of understanding that sharing unwanted information can turn someone off immediately. Because they're like, okay, this person seems nice, but they're just blabbing about, you know, all sorts of stuff that I'm like, why are you telling me this? It's unprompted. And so it goes back to the idea that a lot of these spiritually awake and the people who have a lot of spiritual growth internally, I notice when prompted, they'll share. But when unprompted, they're silent. Or they sort of observe. And this observation, this kind of allowing for space to be silent, allowing for people to bring them up what they want to bring up and ask what they want to ask, I think this is kind of the next mark of progress that I'm working towards. Is, you know, really keeping myself you know, it's not about hiding who I am. It's about becoming a quiet, peaceful force that roams the world, as opposed to a loud, talkative force. And just like the onions that I've been kind of peeling back to understand myself, if people are interested in getting to know me better, I'm totally willing to peel back the layers for them to understand me as far as they want to go. And I think that is the kind of, I don't know if goal is the right word, because it's like, what that really entails is not much of a difference in the way I interact with things. It's more about allowing for silence and allowing to just be. And if people want to know, they'll ask. If people don't want to know, they won't ask. And in that same level, there's also the idea that I can also I guess when I'm interacting with people, I obviously at the end of the day I choose what I want to disclose or talk to people and like mention. But really, it is malleable. And it takes some intuitive discernment in order to really know what should and shouldn't be kind of talked about in that moment based on the context. I need to blow my nose. All right. So yeah, so I'm thinking that that's a really crucial detail that I need to start taking seriously. I heard something that was strange, so I was wondering what it was. I am going to turn back soon. Don't really want to go much more than an hour total, because my thought is kind of work into a consistency of about an hour, as opposed to doing like 2 hours and then stopping. Now, I'm not saying that I won't take breaks, because, you know, I've gone down that path before and you've seen what happens. I think this is a good spot to turn around. But I probably should drink some water. All right. But yeah, I think that's... Sorry, I got my hand caught. So I think that's the main thing that I need to make sure to pay attention to, because well, I've already explained it. So yeah, I kind of want to also bring up, and I questioned myself for a little bit about... It's okay, little guy. I think there's a snake there or something. But so I was questioning, like, should I change how I do these vlogs? Like, maybe I shouldn't be talking about certain things or whatever. And that's when I realized it's about the context. It's about, what is appropriate to talk about on my vlog channel, where you're here, presumably, to listen to my thoughts, and to kind of see my progress and all of this stuff while I'm doing the documentation. Man, there's this one fly. It's like, it's been following me. It's crazy. But yeah. So I thought about, like, am I doing something wrong by talking the way I do on this vlog channel? I say vlog channel. On this vlog content within this channel. Because it's not just for vlogs. Even though primarily that's kind of what it's been recently. But that is changing. I'm behind on posting the side content videos, which really isn't actually side content. It's different content. So I don't know. And it's even uploaded already, so it's just, I just need to slap a what's it called on a thumbnail and call it good. Okay, well, what else? Yeah, I guess my main conclusion with all of this is this content is in fact fine. I think the main focus moving forward is to not over-explain. Because if you've looked at some of our previous videos, you'll see that I do over-explain. And I'm getting better, but I still got to work on it. So making sure that I work on that, I think that's going to be helpful. Also, damn, I gotta blow my nose. I will say that there's obviously things I don't tell you guys when I do this vlog channel stuff. For instance, I obviously don't tell you my bank account, or I don't talk about my passwords for my different stuff, or you know, I don't give you specific numbers on, you know, whatever it is, right? And so it's like those are boundaries where another thing, I've set a boundary of making sure that I don't dox names of my friends. Not because I am worried that they're gonna get harassed or anything like that, but because I just feel like leaving people vague and anonymous it makes it to where I don't have to worry about if for whatever reason they hop on in the future or whatever, or if they go out interacting with videos or whatnot, they have full anonymity, and there really isn't a problem of people bothering them. And that was a goal that I had set. I have to the goal is to not have my friends or family be bothered. And so yeah, so that's one of the boundaries I set when making videos. And so it's like I do set boundaries. It's just I need to keep expanding those boundaries, and you know, reduce the explanations. So, and I don't think I'm too far off, really. I think it's just a few changes here and there that can really make all the difference. And I think the one that I mentioned earlier that's going to be probably the most immediate impact is the not volunteering information, even to friends. Just like if they want to know about it, they can ask, and then I'll kind of mention things. But if they don't want to, like an example, if they don't want to know about my YouTube channel, then, you know, they're not going to ask about it. Now, if they don't know about the YouTube channel, and I say, oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel, and they're like, oh, I'd love to hear about it and all of that stuff, that's totally different, obviously. But again, you know, not immediately volunteering the YouTube channel to anyone I interact with, which, you know, again, I don't, but stuff like that. So, but I think you guys get the gist of it. I will say the first night of sleeping without the computer, I had my laptop. I did in fact watch some videos on the laptop. However, it was a very different experience, and it felt like it did when I first started you know, doing the travel stuff, where I was like needing to wean myself off of the chronic online kind of tendencies. So yeah, it's I can already tell that it's helping, because I just kind of don't want to be in the room unless I have things I need to do, which I do. I do have a lot of stuff I need to do. I cleared out one closet completely of everything. I moved it to the staging area of like sorting. So I'm glad about that. Dude, bro, come on, man. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. What else? I ordered most of that stuff that I was talking about. There's still a few things I want to get, but I'm not too sure on how I'm gonna get them or where I'm gonna get them yet. But yeah, I'm working on that. My knee's okay. I think there's I'm not sure. I'll have to see how it plays out over the rest of the day. The clubs should be coming in today for the light club work that I want to start for upper body strength. So that'll be fun. I'll have to play around with that this week. Felt like there was something else I wanted to bring up. I just can't think of it. Oh, I am a little concerned. I'm not too concerned because I have just enough time, but the credit card, it's going to be sent out, and it says there's up to 14 days. And I'm like, ah, fuck. So, yeah. There's a bunch of people. Hi, how's it going?
You must be on that picnic.
Oh, no.
Oh, you weren't on the picnic.
No.
He's got cold beers, maybe.
Walk fast, you can catch up.
Okay, thanks. But yeah. I think I probably will be fine. It said 14 days from yesterday. So, and that's not business days, it's just 14 days. I think it'll probably show up sooner rather than later. So I'm not too worried about it, but it's just something to keep in mind. Other than that, I guess I won't go into specifics on this dream that I had, but last night, I had a really awesome dream. And I remember distinctly being like, this is the happiest I've ever been. And I was like, damn, I don't remember too much of it, but I was incredibly happy at that time. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. So, but yeah. How's it going? Okay. Whew. But yeah, my dreams have been very, I say vivid. It's like on the one hand, yeah. And I wrote down like, you know, a page or two of notes over the past couple days. But I definitely can feel I don't know, it's like I'm wondering if my like, I don't know, spirit team or whatever are trying to use the dream as a means to contact me. I gotta blow my nose. Or to give me guidance that I've been kind of asking for, where I'm getting glimpses of, you know, I'm not sure. I'm perceiving it as maybe glimpses of the future or something. Because they definitely feel real world and not fake dream stuff. So yeah. Oh, okay. This is something really interesting happened. So I went to the place that I love getting the tofu, and the lady ended up giving me this sparkling water that was sourced in Italy. And it was very random. And she was just like, oh yeah, you know, I appreciate you being here and eating in person rather than ordering online. And she was also talking about how sad it is that like online there are so many orders now. And in person, there aren't too many people. I don't know if they're going to come up this way. It looks like they're going the other way. But yeah, online, there are a lot of people, and she's talking about rush hours for lunch and dinner. But in the restaurant, barely anyone there. And so she just was appreciating that I consistently go in and sit down. So that was nice. That was really nice of her. And I thought about it, and I'm like, what are the odds of her randomly giving me a bottle from Italy? It's like, that's crazy. I want to see where that bottle was bottled from. Because there's a area, and see where that is relative to everywhere else. Maybe I'm supposed to go randomly spend part of my time in Italy there. Why not? As long as it's like Rome is definitely the main target of the trip. And I might spend a week or two in Rome. I don't know. I'll have to just see how I'm feeling and see what the plans are. But yeah, just interesting little random occurrences, and those kind of synchronicities have been happening a lot lately in regards to Italy specifically. So it's like, okay, I have to go to Italy. I'm aware, but yeah, it's just fascinating that a lot of these small interactions they're the little nudges, and I don't know if I've talked too much about the idea of these nudges that your intuition slash like spirit, your spirit guides, your whatever you want to call them, signify. Where if I didn't look at the bottle very closely and I wasn't paying attention, I wouldn't have noticed that it was from Italy. And if I wouldn't have noticed that it was from Italy, I might have even just completely ignored the bottle, given it to a roommate or whatever. I was like, no, this is a nice thing that the lady did. So I drank some of it. And yeah, it was a nice little change. I'm not a big fan of sparkling water, but you know what? For sparkling water, it's pretty good. So yeah. But it's these little things, and this is why you being present in the moment, and you kind of listening to all that is around you, paying attention. These are the things that are important when trying to listen to your intuition and seeing the different signs that kind of pop up. And also, not overthinking the individual sign itself. So like, bottle from Italy, boom. A nudge towards making sure I go to Italy. Is there anything beyond that? I could try and overthink it. And maybe, to an extent, that's what I'm doing with the maker of the bottle. Yeah, I think I am overanalyzing the maker part. I think the point is Italy, not the specific area. But, you know, just going with your first gut reaction. Is your gut really, like, I say gut, but this is your intuition. And so, you know, listening to your intuition and kind of not psyching yourself out or overcomplicating things. Just going with the flow. That's important. I was like, oh wow. I'm already here to this longer slope part. That's crazy. I mean, I guess it's 50, I'm on 56, so that makes sense. It's almost been an hour, and I did plan out to be back by an hour, so I'm not surprised. But sorry, the fly literally just like landed on me and I'm like shook it off and I knocked you guys around. Yeah, I think this was a good walk. I can feel that my knee and my my thigh have definitely stretched and gotten blood flow. So that's good. We'll have to see how things go for the rest of the day, but yeah. I need to, when I get home, I really need to start compiling. It's Monday. I usually do compiling on Saturday and Sunday. So still have a video for today out, but this will be the last day I have the video out before I have to make sure I post more. So I feel like overall I have been doing a pretty good job of posting, being consistent. Sometimes I kind of forget how far I've come. I mentioned this in the past, but it warrants being repeated. It's like, am I where I want to be? I mean, not really, but also, have I been doing the best I can? Yeah. And have I actually accomplished a lot? Yeah, I have. So it's all about just keeping consistency going and not letting things push me down because I'm not where I want to be. Just because I'm not where I want to be doesn't mean that I can't have made a lot of progress. So, all right. I don't think I'm gonna film another video in the evening, simply because I'm just gonna be focused on the compiling. So yeah, the editing and just getting everything uploaded. All right, have a good night. See you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.